if you set a standard and this is something that you're reaching for and this is something that you plan to meet and exceed, this is your journey and this is your goal. And anybody who's telling you that that is too high and that you should not aim that high and that you should not try to do this thing, don't internalize that. That's not meant for you. A lot of people likely just can't grasp you aiming for something like that because they've just never done it themselves. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Andy, and here on my corner of the interwebs, we talk about life, love, pursuit of passion, the pursuit of purpose. Thank you for pressing play on this video. Whatever you were doing before you press play, and whatever you may be doing right now as you're watching or as you're listening to this, just relax a little bit. Just remove the tension out of your body and out of your face. Like, take your tongue from the roof of your mouth, relax your shoulders, and just take some deep breaths. Like, maybe do some neck rolls. Like, just do all of that really quick, because I want to make sure that you are not tense ever, but also like while you're listening to this video and as you're watching this video, because I want to make sure that you receive this message. We split it into two videos because I don't want it to get too long, because there are different layers of this topic that we can get into. So we're just going to focus on one of the layers right here in part one. The full topic being how we are team no settling. And I've been like watching videos about like philosophical teachings and things like that lately. There was one video where I watched, and I can't remember like who said this or what it was. Like, I just retained kind of like the message, and the message was something along the lines of like, everybody has to settle. Eventually you settle on something. So it's like you're trying to make decisions, or you're trying to think about what you want to do, and eventually you're gonna settle on a decision. So it's like everyone settles. You're supposed to settle. And I understand that take, and I guess what I'm saying is that I don't want to settle for something. We're gonna settle on something, we're gonna make decisions, but settling for something, like I'm settling for this because I couldn't get this, or I'm settling for this because it was easier than this, that's where it's like, no, we are team no settle in that aspect. We're not settling for this when we could have this. We just got to take a few extra steps to get there. Like, that's what we're not gonna do. So more than likely this is only gonna be like 2 videos, but I don't know, I might end up breaking it down further and further and further, and we're just gonna have this be a series that lasts forever. I don't know, but right now for sure 2 videos. And first we're just gonna focus kind of like on the topic of not settling, just in regards to yourself, because everything starts with ourselves, okay? Like, this is our world. Everyone else is just living in it. I don't care. That's my belief. This is your world. Everyone else is just living in it. And making sure that you're doing what you need to do to create the best world for yourself, as well as like create the best world for others, is the starting point. A little bit more background, because it wasn't just that video about them talking about settling, whatever, that I saw. I just so happened to see that this week. I've been reading the Creative Act, and one of the, what did it say? Like, one of the thoughts and habits that are not conducive to the work. If that's wrong, I'll put it on the screen. I'll put what it actually is on the screen. But it has a list, like in one of the chapters, it's like list of the thoughts and habits that are not conducive to the work. And the Creative Act is more so geared towards like creatives, and just in regards to how you approach your work as a creative, how you approach your art, things like that. So when it's saying thoughts and habits that are not conducive to the work is your art, like you creating what you are meant to create and things like that. But the message, like, you can take the message in however way that you want to, and in many different ways when it comes to life, period. Like, it doesn't just have to be focused on your life as a creative. One of the thoughts and habits was not taking the work to its highest expression, aka settling. And with your work, with your art, we feel that message, we receive it, we know what that means. But I took it and I was like, in every area of your life, we don't want to not take it to its highest expression. Like, what you are desiring, what you are feeling passionate about, what you're working on, like, always take it to its highest form. Like, don't settle for less than that best version of it. Like, you know what the best version of it is. You can imagine that, you can envision that, you can feel that. And when you just settle for less than that, for whatever reason, you are always cheating yourself out of the best experience. You are always cheating yourself out of what you're supposed to really be receiving from it. And that just felt good to kind of like apply it to all areas and to kind of think of it in that way, because it's not conducive to the work. It's not conducive to your life. It's not conducive to the lessons and the things that you are supposed to be learning while you are here. It's literally just not giving yourself the full experience and the full embodiments of the opportunities that you are supposed to be receiving from this thing. So just a reminder, when we're talking about us being team no settle, we're not settling for things. We're not settling for things not reaching their highest expression. We're not settling for us giving ourselves the bare minimum, first and foremost. First of all, we should set a standard, and we also should meet and exceed it. We should meet it and we should exceed it. And anyone who thinks that your standard is too high, a standard that you are setting for yourself, any standard, but definitely a standard that you are setting for yourself in regards to how you plan to show up and what you are aiming for, anybody who thinks it's too high, don't listen to them. They don't see it because they never set a standard high for themselves. They don't see it because they don't think they could ever do it. It's something personal with them. It has nothing to do with you most of the time. And if it does have something to do with you, that's a different story. That's where it's like, what you trying to say, you know? So if you set a standard and this is something that you're reaching for and this is something that you plan to meet and exceed, this is your journey and this is your goal. And anybody who's telling you that that is too high and that you should not aim that high and that you should not try to do this thing, don't internalize that. That's not meant for you. A lot of people likely just can't grasp you aiming for something like that because they've just never done it themselves. A lot of people settle for something. A lot of people, I'm sure, have the same high aspirations and goals for themselves, but then life gets in the way or something gets in the way, whether it's self-inflicted or whether it's external, whatever the case may be, something may get in the way that they allow to keep them from reaching that goal. And a little bit of their hopes and, you know, like the sparkle, the twinkle in their eye may be a little bit diminished, where they just don't see it for nobody. It's like, well, I went through that and I tried to do all this. I would have did this, but I could, you trying to do that? That's hard. I don't da da da. Like, a lot of people do that and they may not even notice that they're doing it. Like, it may not be an intentional thing that they're trying to like put on you. It's really just something inside of them that they're kind of just trying to warn you about. Sometimes it could be like a personal, like, I'm trying to put this on you, but sometimes people really just don't see it. And what's important is that you see it. And you should always believe, like, the standard that you are seeing and like this goal that you are looking to reach, you should always believe that you can attain it because you can see it. And you just got to break it down and make it reachable for you, and however long it takes, and whatever you need to do that is not harmful to yourself or others, whatever you need to do to make it happen, you make it happen. And it doesn't have to be a rush thing. Again, we talked about finding more joy in the journey so that you can make sure that it's not always you constantly looking forward to reaching that super high goal or whatever, that destination, and you're just going toward this thing and making sure that that path is worth it. But at the end of the day, you set the standard, you exceed it, okay? You meet it, you exceed it, and you can do it. Because if you can't do it, how you gonna expect to attract and only expect that from others? It's like you set standards for yourself that you ain't even meeting, but then you set standards for others and you expect them to meet it. Like, the hypocrisy of it all. Like, And also, you have a vision for your life. You should create it, okay? You should create it. We're not settling for less than that vision that we have for ourselves. We're not settling for what is easier. We're not settling for what comes quicker. This is the vision. This is what I see. This is ideal. This is what makes me happy. This is what makes my soul just feel so warm, and just like my heart just like wants to burst, because just thinking about this thing makes me feel like that is the life that I want for myself. When we think about that vision, that's it. We're creating it. We're making it happen, because you would not see it if it wasn't already out there waiting for you. Like, it exists. You just have to put yourself in that vision. You really just have to put who you are right now into that vision, because who you are in that vision is still you. You just gotta put yourself, who you are right now, into that person. Like, become that person. Create that reality. Because at the end of the day, to like simplify it a little bit, Why would you let like laziness or let time, or why would you make any excuses that prevent you from having the absolute best that you can, from doing the absolute best that you can? Like, it's all up to you. And it's like, what you're going to do with your decision and with it all being up to you is some bullshit. Like, you're really just not going to give it your all. You're going to give yourself the bare minimum. You're going to give yourself excuses. You're not going to actually give yourself the life that you want. Why? Like, what are we settling for? Why? Don't we love ourselves? Don't we want ourselves to have the absolute best that this life can have to offer us? Like, hello? That's where it gets confusing, where it's like, even in those moments where you're feeling lazy or you're feeling like, oh, I don't feel like doing this right now, it's like, you got to snap back into this. You got to be like, why am I acting like this? Like, do I really not care? Do I not care about myself? Like, you ask yourself those questions. Like, if you really like check yourself, and you have to do that sometimes. Like, I have to do that all the time, where I have to be like, girl, why are you doing that? Or you know that that's not good for you. You know that that is not conducive to the life that you are trying to create for yourself. Why are you even entertaining it? Why are you giving any time? Oh, it's just something to do right now? No, that's not good enough. Because what is that really going to do for you? It's not beneficial in any way. It doesn't progress you forward in any way. It's not entertaining. It's not fun. It's just something to do. Like, why are you doing it? And when I check myself like that, I really be like, damn, Andy, you're right. That's actually crazy. Like, why am I giving my time and my energy to this? Like, I really could be doing something better. And that's not to say you always got to be doing something that's like meant to better your life. Like, hell no. But I'm just saying intention, okay? It's the intention of it all. And honestly, like, being somebody who literally, like, all my time is allocated to something that is intentional. Even when I am resting, if I'm chilling on my couch doing nothing, as the girls say, good couch rot, that's intentional, because I need this right now. My mind's been going all day. Now I am resting. Phone's on D&D, TV's on, good movie, good TV show, something that I can just watch, and I can just sit here and I can just be for a moment. It's intentional. That's why a lot of times it's like when people invite you out somewhere and it's like, what are you doing? And it's like, I'm chilling. Okay, you want to go to this thing? Not really. But you're chilling, like, you're not doing nothing. I'm intentionally not doing anything. This is on purpose. Like, this is on purpose. I don't want to do anything right now. And that is okay. So in knowing that vision, in setting that standard, the way that I want us to try more often to try and like determine exactly what that vision is and like setting that standard is like truly envisioning it. I mean, like, meditation, envisioning it. If you need inspiration or motivation, but namely motivation, the cheat code for me has been meditation, specifically a guided meditation. Maybe you don't need a guided one if you're just a gangster like that, but I'm not. I need someone to guide me through it. And I'll put in the description like my favorite one. I think it's Dr. Joe Dispenza. He has a guided meditation that every time I do it, literally tears. Like, I'm crying. I felt everything. I saw what I needed to see. I am renewed in my vision, and I know exactly what I want and what I need to do, and I'm back on track. Honestly, I don't need to do it that often. I just got to think about the fact that, like, think about how I felt when I did it, and I be good a lot of the times, because it's that powerful. Like, if you really sit down and really allow yourself to be in that moment and actually commit to that practice, it's like 20 minutes. It's a game changer, y'all. So I'm gonna put it in the description, but I just wanted to make sure that we go over this, because in setting that standard, because sometimes you don't really know where to start with that. Like, what is the standard? What is the goal that I'm looking for? And what is the vision that I have for my life? Sometimes you don't know. You just know you want it to be good. Like, or you just know what it ain't. Like, I know it ain't this. Whatever it is, it ain't this. And sometimes when you're trying to like paint that picture in your mind to know exactly what you are aiming for and what you're like actually working towards, a good way to do that is activating your emotions and getting your feelings into it. And a good way to do that is to meditate, is to really envision it, is to sit back, close your eyes, focus on your breathing, and see everything. See exactly where you want to be. And the way that you do that is starting with your emotions first. How do you even want to feel? Because sometimes that also just starts with how you know you don't want to feel. Like, I know I don't want to feel ungrounded. I know I don't want to feel insecure. I know I don't want to feel rushed, or I don't want to feel forced to do things. When you know how you don't want to feel, that can help you to lead to like, okay, I know I want to feel secure, I want to feel stable, I want to feel like I can take my time, I want to feel like I am doing things because I actually want to do it, I want to feel love in my actions and the things that I'm devoting my time and my attention to. I know I want to feel like this. What that looks like, I'm not sure. I'm still on the path of figuring that out. But as you are on that path of figuring it out and trying things and learning things and just doing what you can to try and see, okay, what is it? You know what to look for. You know what feelings to look for. I know that if I am doing something, if I'm working on a project, if I'm trying a new hobby, whatever, and I feel like I'm forcing myself to do this shit, I shouldn't be doing it. If I'm doing something and I feel like it may not offer me the security that I need in some actions, in a career, in whatever, I shouldn't be doing it. I know what I want to feel. I need to look for those feelings in the things that I do. And anything that you are doing that is not providing you with those feels that you have determined are what you need and what you are looking for when it comes to setting that standard and having that vision for your life, it's not meeting your standard. You're settling. And why are we settling? Are we settling because this particular season we're in just requires us to for a certain amount of time, like as we're working towards what we're trying to build, what we're trying to create, what we're trying to do, or as we're continuing to like figure things out? Like, are we just settling for a moment because we just need to right now? Okay, that's cool. I can live with that. Can you live with that? I can live with that. I know that this is just temporary. This is forever. We want this to be sustainable. We want this to be, this is my life right here. And this is my life over here as well. But this is just this one era of my life right now. And it's helping me to get to this era of my life. So I just have to deal with it for right now. We're settling for this on our way to this. That's fine. Or are we settling because we're doubting ourselves? We're being lazy. Maybe we don't think we deserve better. We don't think that we are capable of, or we deserve that better that we are envisioning for ourselves. Like, I want it, but I don't know if I'm meant to have that. That doesn't seem like that would be for me. Like, I don't even know if I could do that. Like, me? Do we have that attitude about it? Or even what we kind of started with, are we settling because someone told us we should? Because you shared your vision that you have for your life with somebody and they were like, that's too much. You're asking for too much. All of those, not okay. Not okay. All right? If this is a reminder for somebody, not okay. But basically, bottom line here, starting with ourselves, being team no settling, and starting with ourselves, it's your world. Okay? It is your world. Know how you want it to be. Believe that it can be that way. And as long as you're not hurting anyone, you're good. Like, when you're settling for some shit that you know you're not supposed to be settling for, like, you know you're not supposed to be right here. You're supposed to be up here somewhere, but you're down here. The only person you're really hurting is yourself. You are hurting yourself. It may not feel like it, because like the instant gratification of like, oh, I'm lazy, I don't feel like doing all the work that takes to get up there. Yeah, that might feel good. It's like, I don't have to do all those extra steps. I'm just right here and I'm good. This works. This is cool. That might feel good in the moment, but in the long run, it'll be a regret. It'll be like a damn. All I needed to do was just take a few extra steps. All I needed to do was believe in myself a little bit more. All I needed to do was just give myself some love. And I would have had what I wanted. I would have been there by now. I would have been there. But I'm settling for this because it felt good at the time. But over time, you realize more and more how much you are settling for things. You gotta nip that shit in the bud from the beginning. You gotta nip it in the bud from the beginning, okay? And also, that other important piece, focus on the feels. Focus on the feels more than what it looks like. Because yes, we're trying to create that vision. We want to see that vision. We want to know, so we know exactly what to aim for and the actions that need to be taken. But in determining what that looks like and what to aim for and the actions that need to be taken, focus on your feelings, your emotions. Know how you want to feel when you're dealing with something, when you're doing something, when you're working on something. And anything that does not feel like that is likely not meant for you to really move forward with. It's likely just not conducive to the work, Bookie. Like, it's likely not for you. Focus on the feels, because they'll tell you everything. I know they're temporary and they're not a good kind of thing to go off of all the time. But when it comes to how you feel when you're interacting with an action, when you're doing something, they tell you everything. How you feel after you've done something, Sometimes you don't feel anything, and that tells you something as well. Like, I don't want to just feel numb. I don't want to just feel like indifferent. I want to feel passionate. I want to feel locked in. I want to feel motivated. I want to feel like this is for me. Like, we need to focus on the feels. It'll help you. But yeah, y'all, I really hope that you received something that you needed from this video. We are team no settling, okay? Settle on something eventually. You got to make a decision, but we're not settling for something when we know we want something else. We're not settling for shit, period, all right? We're not bare minimuming ourselves. We're not being lazy to ourselves. We're not being unintentional with ourselves in our life and how we want to carry this shit out. And I hope that shit doesn't get repetitive with what I be talking about, because ultimately it always seems to come back to the same type of message where it's just like, this is your life and you need to create it how you want to create it. It always seems to come back to that. And honestly, that's just a very important message. Like, really, that should be nailed into our noggins multiple times, because a lot of people don't really give that to us. Like, the way we come up, it's like, yeah, go to school, get a job, pay your debt, die. And I like more of the figure out what you want and dedicate your time and your attention to creating the life to be, to creating your life to be the way that you want it to be. Like, I like that better. That just resonates more with me. So if it resonates more with you, we're here. Again, we're here. Okay, we're here. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to thumbs up if you like this video. And if you love it here and you like chit chats and vloggy vlogs, then please be sure to subscribe. I would love for you to make yourself at home, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.